புதிய பாரதத்தில் கல்வி சீர்திருத்தங்கள் என்ற தலைப்பில் கோவையில் நடைபெறும் 2 நாள் தேசிய கருத்தரங்கினை தமிழக ஆளுநர் ஆர்.என். ரவி துவக்கி வைத்தார். அகில பாரதிய ராஷ்டிரிய ஷாஷிக் மகா சங் மற்றும் ஆசிரியர் அமைப்புகள் சார்பில் கோவை பந்தய சாலையில் அமைந்துள்ள நட்சத்திர ஹோட்டலில் நடைபெற்ற இக்கருத்தரங்கில் பல்வேறு மாநிலங்களைச் சேர்ந்த ஆசிரியர்கள் மற்றும் கல்வியாளர்கள் கலந்து கொண்டு தேசிய கல்விக் கொள்கையின் சிறப்பம்சங்கள் மற்றும் நாட்டின் பாரம்பரியத்தோடு சேர்ந்த கல்வி முறை குறித்த கருத்துக்களை எடுத்துரைத்தனர். இந்நிகழ்வில் தமிழக ஆளுநர் பேசியதாவது: இன்றைய காலகட்டத்தில் உலக அளவில் தொழில்நுட்பம் சார்ந்த அபரீதமான வளர்ச்சி அனைத்து துறைகளிலும் நடந்து வருகிறது. இந்த சூழலில் நமது அறிவு சார்ந்த வளர்ச்சி மிகவும் முக்கியமாகவும் இதற்கு நமது தேசிய கல்விக் கொள்கை வழிவகுக்கிறது. 200 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு முன்பு பாரதம் உலகின் தலை சிறந்த நாடாக இருந்தது. பிரிட்டிஷ் காலனி ஆதிக்கத்திற்கு பிறகும் இந்தியா விடுதலை அடைந்த பின்பும் உலக பொருளாதாரத்தில் 11வது இடத்தில்தான் நாம் இருந்தோம். இதற்கு காரணம் மேற்கத்திய நாடுகளின் சிந்தனைகளின் தாக்கம்தான். பிரிட்டிஷ் நாட்டினர் நமது நாட்டை விட்டு வெளியேறிய போதும் காலனி நாடுகளின் ஆதிக்கம் அனைத்து துறைகளிலும் இருந்துள்ளது. குறிப்பாக கல்வியிலும் இருக்கிறது. இதை மாற்றும் வகையில் தேசிய கல்விக் கொள்கை வகுக்கப்பட்டு நமது நாட்டின் பாரம்பரியமிக்க கல்வி முறை அதில் உள்ளது. பல்வேறு துறை சார்ந்த வளர்ச்சி என்பது அதில் முக்கிய அம்சமாக இருந்த போதும் இந்தியாவின் பாரம்பரியமிக்க கலாச்சார பாரம்பரியம் அதன் ஆன்மாவாக உள்ளது. அடுத்த சில ஆண்டுகளில் உலக பொருளாதாரத்தில் முதல் 3 இடத்தில் நாம் இருக்க வேண்டும். அதற்கு கல்வி மற்றும் இளைஞர்களின் பங்கு மிகவும் முக்கியமாகும். மத்திய கல்வித்துறை பாரதிய நாலேஜ் சிஸ்டம் என்ற சொல்லை பயன்படுத்த வேண்டும். நமது பாரத நாட்டில்தான் உலகத்தில் உள்ள அனைத்தும் ஒரே குடும்பம் என பார்க்கும் அறிவும் சிந்தனையும் எழுந்துள்ளது. யாது ஊரே யாவரும் கேளீர் வாசுதேவ குடும்பகம் ஆகிய தத்துவங்கள் தான் நமது ரிஷிகள் நமக்கு வழங்கிய மிக முக்கியமான அறிவாகும். இதற்கு முன்பு மிக குறைந்த அளவில் ஸ்டார்ட் அப் நிறுவனங்கள் இருந்த சூழலில் தற்போது இளைஞர்களின் அறிவுத்திறன் கொண்டு ஏராளமான ஸ்டார்ட் அப் நிறுவனங்கள் உருவாக்கப்பட்டுள்ளன. 3D தொழில்நுட்பத்தில் விண்கலங்களை உருவாக்கி விண்வெளிக்கு அனுப்பியும் பெருமை சேர்த்துள்ளனர். நமது மாநிலத்தின் பாடத்திட்டங்களில் தேசிய விடுதலை இயக்கங்கள் பற்றிய பாடங்கள் தவிர்க்கப்பட்டு பிரிட்டிஷ் காலனி ஆதிக்கம் பற்றிய மிகைப்படுத்துதலும் திராவிட இயக்கங்கள் குறித்த படங்களும் தான் உள்ளது. நமது நாட்டின் சுதந்திரத்திற்காக உயிர்நீத்த ஆயிரக்கணக்கான விடுதலை போராட்ட வீரர்களின் தியாகங்கள் மறைக்கப்பட்டும் மறுக்கப்பட்டும் வருகிறது. குறிப்பாக வன்முறை சம்பவங்களை காரணம் காட்டி மருதுபாண்டிய சகோதரர்கள் நினைவு தினத்தின் போது சிவகங்கையில் அதற்கான நினைவு நாள் அனுசரிக்கப்படுவதில்லை. புதிய பாரதம் சுவாமி விவேகானந்தரின் கனவாக வலுவான அறிவையும் வேதாந்த பலமும் கொண்ட பாரதமாக இருக்க வேண்டும். கோவிட் காலகட்டத்தில் உலக நாடுகள் தொற்று நோயால் பாதிக்கப்பட்டிருந்த போது இந்திய விஞ்ஞானிகள் தடுப்பூசி தயாரித்து அதை உலக நாடுகளுக்கு வழங்கி காப்பாற்றினர். இதுவே நமது அறிவின் சிறப்பாகும். இன்றைய சூழலில் கல்வி அமைப்பை சீர் செய்வதற்கு தடையாக மார்க்சிய சிந்தனை உட்பட பல சிந்தனைகள் உள்ளன. அவற்றை எதிர்கொண்டு பாரம்பரியமிக்க நமது கல்வி அறிவை சீர் செய்ய கல்வியாளர்கள் இந்த கருத்தரங்கில் ஆலோசனைகளை முன்வைக்க வேண்டும் என்றும் பேசினார். இந்த கருத்தரங்கில் பல்கலைக்கழக மானியக் குழுவின் பேராசிரியர் மணிஷா ஜோஷி, முன்னாள் ஆங்கில பேராசிரியர் குமாரசாமி, அகில இந்திய இணையமைப்பு செயலாளர் குந்தா லக்ஷ்மண், சிண்டிகேட் பாரதியார் பல்கலைக்கழக உறுப்பினரும் கொங்கு நாடு கலை மற்றும் அறிவியல் கல்லூரி செயலாளர் டாக்டர் C.A. வாசுகி மற்றும் மாநில மற்றும் மத்திய பல்கலைக்கழகங்களின் துணைவேந்தர்கள், IIT மற்றும் IIM-களின் இயக்குநர்கள் உட்பட பலரும் கலந்து கொண்டனர்.
अखिल भारतीय राष्ट्रीय शैक्षिक महासंघ here we make sangam everything we put M. Professor Manish R. Joshi, Secretary University Grant Commission, Thiru K. Kumaraswamy, Distinguished Academician, Dr. C.A. Vasuki, Secretary, Kongu Nadu Arts and Science College, Dr. R. Bhaskar, Convener President, Tamil Nadu Higher Education Teachers Association, Dr. C.P. Satish, Co-Convener and President, Unnata Vidyavyas Adhyapaka Sangama. Distinguished luminaries from academia, eminent scholars, delegates, and friends, warm greetings and best wishes to all of you. Anaivarkum Vanakkam. I am indeed delighted to be part of this important 2 days seminars on an issue which is of crucial significance to our country. Envisioning a new Bharat through education reform with our eyes on indigenous system. Friends, today the world is at the cusp of a revolutionary transformation. We often say that things are changing, the world is changing, but what change is in the offing is happening today is something which is to a considerable extent beyond our comprehension. The cutting edge technology in the ultra advanced domains, from predictive artificial intelligence to generative artificial intelligence, from analog to digital to quantum computation, synthetic biology, ultra advanced intelligent robotics, ultra nanotechnology. These are all transforming and has the potential to transform the world in a way that at this point of time it is very difficult for us to predict how the world would be like. But one thing is clear, that these advancements is going to create redistribution of power, global power. These advancements is going to create a wider gap, creating wider inequality, redistribution of resources. Because the countries and the entities who are ahead in these technologies, the quantum of power and resources that they will have vis-a-vis the others, it is unimaginable. The world which is already suffering from unacceptable iniquity, exclusivity, is going to face a greater problem tomorrow. Now, in this kind of emerging world, what should be our role? Where should we be? Where should Bharat be? This is a very, very crucial moment for us to understand this. You know, until about 200 years ago, less than 2 centuries, we know that Bharat was the number one country in the world. We accounted for the largest GDP. Bharat was the engine of growth, global growth. And those of you who are looking for data to substantiate it, I would urge you to go on the internet and look for a report, World Economy, a Millennial Perspective. It's a report prepared by OECD. It tells you from the very first century till the 20th century, the state of economy of the countries. And Bharat was number one until the beginning of 19th century. By the time the British left, we dipped from number one to number 6th. We became the 6th economy in the world. It was a precipitous decline. We all blame the colonizers for exploiting us, exploiting our resources. But then, 6.5 decades later, after independence, 2014, we further dipped to the 11th position in the world. We became the 11th economy of the world. So, this precipitous decline continued even after independence. Why? The country which was number one consistently for over 2000 years, within 200 years it declines, and the decline, a steep decline, continues even after independence. And the answer is not far to seek. It is in our education system. You know, when the British left us physically in 1947, on the 15th of August, there was celebration in the country. Everyone was joyous, celebrating independence. But Mahatma Gandhi was in a somber mood, sitting in the slum colony of the marginalized in Delhi. Some media people asked him, why are you not happy? Why you don't seem to be happy with the independence? Are you not? Mahatma Gandhi replied, you know, the British have left us only physically. They are still occupying our mind. And they are so deep in our mind that if we work hard to drive them out of our mind, even then it will take years and years, decades to drive them out of our mind. So this independence is only half physical independence. You know, many of you might have read, and some of you, those who have not, please do that. We know the iconic British newspaper Guardian. Guardian wrote an editorial on 18th of May 2014, the day Prime Minister Narendra Modi was sworn in. You know, the editorial begins like this. 18th May 2014 may as well go down the history as the day when Britain finally left India. Britain finally left India because the system and the style of governance until then was continuation of the British Raj by other means. These are not my words. These are words of Guardian, and it's editorial. It is not an op-ed. It is the view, considered view of the iconic British newspaper. Now, from British brought us from top to 6th, and we brought it to 11th. Think of it. Because we remained so colonized, we kept looking at them for everything. We became an imitator, like a child holding the finger of the parent or the mother and walking. Child will lose direction unless and whenever there looks or cries for the mother. That was our position. You know, we have a beautiful constitution created by best minds. But whenever the operationalization of constitution happened, we kept looking at how the British Parliament behaved. They conducted their business, interpreting the constitution from the perspective of the Westminster. We developed our conventions, our traditions. We gave meaning to operational aspect of the constitution deriving from how it was conducted by the Westminster. Even our judiciary, the Supreme Court of India, they kept looking at the Privy Council of Britain or the Supreme Court of US, United States of America, quoting proudly how the judges have quoted there and seeking validation, seeking meaning. Look at the level of colonization. Even today, as a chancellor, when I get report from many of my state universities, many times the reports comes with a quoting from somebody in Europe or US. This colonization of mind. How can you grow in a competitive world by imitating someone on the strength of a borrowed language, borrowed knowledge? And then came a revolutionary step, the National Education Policy of 2020. Because for any transformation, for any change, and for us, this transformation has to be very, very revolutionary. We have to break with the past. We have to drive the Macaulay out of our mind and have our own education system. And with this in mind, the National Education Policy 2020 came. This policy has a body and it also has a soul of it. As far as the body part of it is concerned, we have a lot, we discuss a lot about multidisciplinary education, flexible education, collaboration among educational institutions, greater thrust on skill, usable knowledge. All those things are very, very important. Not many. But there is also a soul of that. There is soul. How do we look at knowledge from our perspective? And believe me, it's very important. Knowledge is not, as is often called, one may say, yes, it is perspective neutral. It is not. How do you look at? We have been hearing about Secretary UGC also mentioned about IKS, Indian Knowledge System. I would very sincerely urge the Ministry of Education, UGC, AICT and all the bodies, please use the word Bharatiya Knowledge System. You have been saying the Bharatiya Gyan Parampara. Why not? Gyan Parampara, you can, language-wise, one can differ. Every language of Bharat cannot, may not understand Parampara. There are words. But Bharat is common in all the languages, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Everyone understands Bharat. The problem is, we have been looking at Bharat from the perspective of India. India is not synonymous of Bharat. India is a label given by the European to this country. People of this country did not call this country India until the British came. For centuries and centuries, for millennia, it was called Bharat. And Bharat, even its geographic expanse, that finds reference in our old literature. When they say, Uttaram yat samudrasya himadrasya dakshinam varsam tad bharatam nama. North of ocean and south of Himalayas is Bharat, Bharatvarsh. Bharat cannot be understood from the European perspective of origin and identity of a state. India can be. Because India is an European construct, not Bharat. What is European construct of? Unless we understanding Bharat, or to say to Bharatiya knowledge system, understanding Bharatiya knowledge system is predicated upon understanding Bharat. If we understand Bharat, it becomes easy to understand Bharatiya knowledge system. We know that Bharat does not fit in European construct of a political state. Because European construct of a political state is what? We know that a state has 4 ingredients: a defined territory, population living on that territory, a government governing that territory, and that government is sovereign. The 4 attributes of a political state. Bharat is much bigger than that. This political state is a subset of Bharat. Bharat is a larger set. Bharat is a Rashtra. This Rashtra, we all say that Bharat is, we know that it was not a country, it was not a Rashtra created by a ruler. It was not created by a strong man. It was created through values. The values which was revealed for several thousand years ago to our rishis. And those values, that light that it generated, it spread over. And Bharat means enlightened land. And what is that light? What is that light that makes it a one Rashtra? Because you know that Rashtra, our scriptures, our Veda says, Bhadra Nikshanta Rishya Swavida Tapo Diksham Upanishaduragra Tato Rashtram Baramojasya Jata Bhadra Nikshanta Rishya Swavida Tapo Diksham Upanishaduragra. Well-meaning rishis who thought of Vishwa Kalyan. Such rishis, those who are equipped with Atma-gyan, Swavida. And what is Atma-gyan? Atma-gyan is Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma. The whole world, the whole creation is a family. Plant, animal, humans, we are all member of a family. No one is away. There is no exclusion. Such rishis, well-intentioned rishis, equipped with this knowledge of Atmagyan, their tap and diksha, kathor tap and diksha, their hard work, to spread the light, we are all member of a family. You may look differently. You may have a different food habit. Your language may be different. Your custom cuisine can be different. But we are all member of a kudumbam, a family. You may have your own way of worship. You may have your own ritual. Doesn't matter. But we are all member of a family. Such a wonderful, a revolutionary light or darshan. I don't use the word philosophy. Philosophy is very limited. And we have a tendency, always emphasize mind, we always try to use the English word. Philosophy, we all know that evolution of a language is linked with the civilizational evolution of a people. That civilization has not evolved to that stage where they can see this light of oneness of creation. Oneness of creation, this light came here. And so it is called darshan. Drishti, how you look at yourself and how we look at the rest of creation. This light, it originated here, it came here, thousands and thousands of years ago, and it has spread. And people of different, varying attributes, they became member of a family. Imagine, thousands of years ago, and look at the characteristic of Bharat. We don't know how many thousands of years ago it has been like one family. There were multiple rulers, not one or two, numerous. At no point of time there was one ruler who ruled the entire Bharat. So it doesn't fit in the European definition. That is why some people say that no, India is not a nation. Bharat was a Rashtra and is a Rashtra. So imagine, when I think of, other day I visited Shravanbelgola. 2,400 years ago. 2,400 years ago, a rishi, Bhadrabahu from Pataliputra, with his 12,000 followers, devotees, Sramanas, he comes down to Shravanbelgola, establishes himself, passing through numerous kings and kingdoms. About 5,000 of them come to our place, Tamil Nadu, what we call Tamil Nadu today, Arihantagiri, in Tiruvannamalai district, Arihantagiri. Bhadrabahu himself came to spread the light the way he looked at it. What some people would like to say or say that it is a way of Jaina Darshan. You know, they never felt any constraint where they were going. The free movement. People coming from one part. We had a Pallava prince. From here, he went to Nalanda, studied, became Acharya, Bodhidharma, and subsequently went to China and spread what we say Buddhism there, Bauddha Mat. This Bharat has to be understood. And once we understand this Bharat, then it becomes easier for us to identify who we are. And with that sense of pride, we move forward. And when we talk about our indigenous knowledge system, it is not just knowledge which are there in various texts here and there, and as well as traditions, but also the process, our entire epistemology, our pedagogy, both are different from the Europeans. And it's a great challenge. We have to move over to this. When we talk of New Bharat, what kind of Bharat that we wish to imagine? We all say that yes, we like to be number one. thanks to the initiative taken in last 10 years, that we have grown again, a new Bharat is emerging. And from 11th we have come down to the 5th. We have reached, not down, but we have come moved upward. We came to the 5th. And we are very confident in the next few years we will become the 3rd largest economy in the world. From borrowers of knowledge, we are becoming creators of knowledge. You know, WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, their report, it says that we are having accelerated growth in knowledge creation in patents, intellectual property. Rise over the previous year has been almost about 24%. About 10 years back, we had hardly any startup, just a few hundred, 200, 300 or so. Today, we have 125,000 startup, young minds. Bharat is in ferment, intellectual ferment. Other day, we read in the newspaper, our young minds, they have launched Agnikul, indigenously designed, 3D printed, created, launch vehicles, which would be far more economical than other commercial launch vehicles available today. New areas, they are breaking ground. This is New Bharat. When this New Bharat is emerging, it has to leapfrog. It cannot have incremental gain. It cannot rise incrementally. Because as I said right at the beginning, that the cutting edge advanced technologies, ultra advanced technologies will not leave you a chance. If you keep going incrementally, we will be far behind. We have to be aggressively creative. We have to move forward. And that is why the genius today genius of governance lies in liberating the genius available in the society. Less control, more autonomy. For a very long time, attempts have been made to deny Bharat. And that is why from the 6th we dropped down to 11th. We must understand, we must appreciate and be proud of being a Bharatiya. And in fact, systematically, all those things which strengthen the idea and identity of Bharat, they have been systematically weakened after the British left. In our own state, I was shocked to find that our state university's curriculum, history and political science, has no mention of the National Freedom Movement. Only when I know that my forefathers have given their blood for a cause, that cause belongs to me. And thousands and thousands and thousands of people of this land had given their life for freedom of Bharat, and we have erased them from our memory. Complete textbook, there is no mention of it. And I was shocked that how could the leaders of our academia could not feel disturbed. The entire 19th century, 20th century, 19th century, of course, completely blacked out. Only the British, glorification of the British rule. Glorification of the British rule. Imagine. And the 20th century is all Dravida movement. Dravida movement. No mention of National Freedom Movement. I think we should stop denying Bharat. This is not and distorting our own culture and identity. Friends, coming 16th of June, this coming 16th, is a very, very important day. It is a day when great leaders, warrior leaders of this land had given a proclamation, Jambudvip Pragadhanam, liberating the whole Bharat, whole Jambudvip from control of the British on 16th of June. We have forgotten. Last year, 24th of October is the day when Maruti brothers were martyred by the British. They fought valiantly because they came up with a strategic visionary document to unite all the rulers of Bharat, native rulers, unite them against British. And they had begun the uniting, the fight had begun, but then that has shaken the British Empire. And they decided that they must stop it. They put their entire might, and with the help of collaborators, they finally succeeded in snuffing out the light. And I was shocked when last year in Trichy National College on this date, I had gone on the 24th of October, the event could not be organized at the place where they were, Shiv Gangai, because 12 years back some law and order incident happened, and since then, on the day when Maruti brothers were martyred, within a week comes another freedom fighter, Muthuram Langtewar. His day comes, some incident happened, law and order, and there is a prohibitory order. Every year there is a prohibitory order, people are not allowed to assemble and celebrate them. This is denial of Bharat. No, it is not acceptable. It cannot be denied. You are only trying to distort it. Friends, the gains that our young minds, young entrepreneurs, innovators, researchers, they are creating knowledge, they are making our country proud. This has to be given momentum. And this has to be given momentum with a sense of national pride. We have to infuse, we have the capacity. Only thing is, we have been made to think small. No, the time is gone. This is the time that we must think big. We must take up our responsibility. And the new Bharat that we are trying to envision, that Bharat has to be of the dream of Swami Vivekananda. And what was his dream? What kind of Bharat he wanted? He said, Bharat that he wanted was Bharat whose muscles are of iron, whose sinews are of steel, physically strong, prosperous, but whose heart is Vedantic, compassionate, looking at the world as a family. Yadamore Yavarum Kelir Vasudhaiva Kutumbaka. This a strong, materially prosperous Bharat, militarily strong Bharat, with that heart which is Bharatiya, which has been given to us by our rishis several thousands years ago. That Bharat we have to create. The new Bharat has to be such a Bharat. The new Bharat has to be the Bharat which Rishi Aurobindo on the day of independence scripted in his dream. On the 15th of August 47, when Rishi Aurobindo wrote down the dreams that the day has come for Bharat to fulfill its divine obligation. Because In the entire creation, in the entire universe, Earth is the only planet where you have evolutionary consciousness. And in this evolutionary consciousness, with this awareness that evolutionary consciousness is essentially unites the entire creation by a common consciousness, Purusha and Prakriti, that common Purusha. This knowledge came to Bharat that we are all one. We are all one. What an extraordinary vision to unite, include the diversity. Irrespective of differences, we are all one family. This knowledge came to Bharat, and then Rishi Aurobindo says, was it coincidental? He said, no. It was divine mandate. It was a divine design that this knowledge came to Bharat, and now Bharat has to be strong. Bharat has to be capable to take this light to the rest of the world. And that is what Bharat has begun. When the COVID-19 was struck down and the world was in the grip of absolutely unknown deadly disease, no one knew the way out. When the rich and advanced countries who discovered, who invented medicine, they started making money out of it. It was a Bharat, thanks to our scientists. When we made our vaccine, we shared the vaccine with people, needy people in 150 countries in the world. This is Bharat because we walk the talk. This is a family. When we had the G20 presidency, the motto was what? Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is soul of Bharat. This is what Bharat is. It looks at, that is why the world looks at India, looks at Bharat with a lot of expectation, a lot of hope. Friends, in these 2 days, you will have a lot of deliberations. But I also like to just quickly list out a few ideological challenges, intellectual challenges which you are going to face. It is not enough that we are just saying that we are proud of it. We have to be prepared to face the challenges. There are four external European ideas and ideologies which you will confront, which world is confronting, which we also have to confront. When we are coming up with the Bharatiya knowledge system, when we are rising with our darshan to look at the whole world as a family, the four European ideas and ideologies we have to confront. The number one is anthropocentric view of creation. That view says that God created humans and then created the whole creation for the pleasure of human. No, that's not correct. In Bharatiya Darshan, we are an element of creation. We are integrally connected with the creation. We are not the Lord and Master of the creation. This anthropocentric view of creation, this is a very strong ideology. This has to be confronted ably. Second idea, European idea is theory of evolution. The theory of evolution that tells you that makes the entire life ecosystem predatory. The smarter one will kill the other and prosper. Survival of the fittest. And fittest means how crooked, how cunning you are. This has given rise to intellectual and moral justification for mercantile capitalism. There is no room for compassion. There is no room for compassion. If you are smart, smart means you are clever and cunning, you prosper. It doesn't gel with Bharatiya knowledge system, Bharatiya Darshan. In Bharatiya Darshan, we are neither at the center of creation, nor we look at the evolution as predatory. That for me to progress, I have to kill the others. I have to suppress the other. I have to exploit the others. The entire colonialism is based on that theory of evolution. I am a smarter, so I will colonize this land and extract the resources. Third is social contract theory of a state. These are very strong ideologies. You are from academia, you know how strong these are. Social contract theory of a state, that individuals are sovereign, and these sovereign individuals have contracted to live together, form the society and the state. It lays premium on the sovereignty of the individual. In Bharatiya Darshan, this is not so. Individual is not sovereign. We are integrally connected with the rest. Bharatiya Darshan is of integral humanism. We are integrally connected with the entire creation. Like a molecule, atom in a molecule, subatomic in the atom. Each one has certain degree of autonomy but not fully sovereign. All are within the parameters of the larger whole. Individual, family, society, and the Rashtra, they are all integrally connected. This is a very, very powerful ideology, European ideology. Sovereignty of the individual, and based on that, a state as a creation out of a contract. No, this is very dangerous. You have to find capable argument, and we have it. And the fourth is Karl Marx's view of life and society. Karl Marx looked at human being as moving hydrocarbons. Nothing, it's all chemistry, reactions, chemical reactions. In Karl Marx's view, humans are just a material object, driven by their own needs and greeds. And in this drive for needs and greeds, there will always be some who has it, some who don't have it. So the society is divided between have and have-nots, and they are in a perpetual conflict. This perpetual conflict, Karl Marx had written a number of essays, almost 20 essays in 1852. 1852, in New York Daily Tribune, he wrote in August. Many of them are available on the internet. And so if you wish to read, you please go on the internet, Karl Marx on India, 1852, or this New York Daily Tribune. And there he mentions, he says, he justifies imperialism, colonization of India. He says that I am against imperialism, but in India it is a historic necessity. Because in India, individuals are not sovereign. Society is highly oppressive. It doesn't allow an individual to grow to the full potential. And a society that worships monkeys and cows have no business to exist, that must be annihilated. And he laid down the two tasks for the British Empire. First, total annihilation of India's social order. And the second, laying foundation of Western material civilization. Now, these are very powerful ideologies, though they have been debunked, many of them have been debunked. There is hardly any such, you will find many of the countries, those who fought and killed millions and millions, they themselves have just abandoned this ideology. But still, it is a very powerful ideology. When we talk about our Bharatiya knowledge system, not only is the knowledge, but the process of knowledge through which we derive knowledge, the way we transmit knowledge, the entire ecosystem of knowledge is very, very important to understand it. The battle has begun. It is our responsibility to take it forward. And I am sure all of us present here, all of you are very capable people, capable leaders of the intellectual world. You will show the light. In the coming 2 days, today and tomorrow deliberations, with your chanting, sufficient light will come to lead us into the future for a new Bharat, the Bharat of the dream of Swami Vivekananda, Bharat of the dream of Rishi Aurobindo. I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much. Jai Bharat.